good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for joining me today on another live Q&A session. If you're new here, my name is Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and my channel is dedicated to those of you that are just getting started out in this wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I share with you some techniques and tips and tricks that I use every day in my own voiceover business, and I answer your questions because having someone to ask questions to, I found has been very helpful in my own journey to getting to where I am. So, if you're not new here, then you know that every week I have a new poll. And today's poll is, let me just put it on the screen here, is do you have a voiceover or an audiobook role model, like a voice role model, or someone that you admire? How they narrate, how they sound, how they carry their business, whatever it is. Is there someone that you admire or that you aspire to be like in your own voiceover business or audiobook narrating business? So let's jump over really quickly to the poll and see what some of the responses are. And then we'll say hi to everybody in the chat. So far, we've got about 20 votes, and we have 22 votes, and we have 41% of you said, yes, I do. And I do ask that if you do have somebody that you admire, to put it in the chat. We can maybe learn about some new people or some new people to check out or follow for those of you joining. It just went down to 39% of you said yes, and 61% of you said no. And I would say it's okay if you don't, but I think it does help to have a role model in anything that you want to do. Someone that you maybe it doesn't even have to be anybody famous or anybody that's established, just someone that you admire and would like I said, aspire to be like, because that helps to give you a goal. Right? Having goals is definitely helpful in any business endeavor, I think. And if you can learn anything from that person or persons, then that is a good thing. So let's jump on over to the chat and say hello to everybody here. Let me hide that and jump over to the comments. Okay. First, we have Robert Palmore. Good morning. He says, Heidi ho, everyone. Whoops. Oh, I'm clicking all over the place. And then Robert says, R.C. Bray is my role model. Sorry, Angela, not Scott Brick. I like Scott Brick. I like the way that he narrates. I like particularly how he handles his characters, his character voices. They're not over the top. They're very subtle. And I like that because that makes those voices sustainable, especially if you have a long book, right? He shows that you don't need to have an over the top voice to differentiate different characters. And I like the fact that he's very helpful, right? He's always willing to help out and teach others, which I really like. But he's definitely not my role model. I would say mine, I just realized I never gave you mine. Mine is Sigourney Weaver. I know she's a famous actress, but I love her voiceovers. I love anything that she has a voice on. I just like, man, because I liken my voice to hers in lots of ways. And if she can do it, then I want to do it. I want to voice documentaries, long, online tutorials, audiobooks, anything long form seems to be my niche. And I would love to be Sigourney Weaver in that respect. Andy B. Hello, Andy B. He says, I admire Les Marshak. Let's see if I can get my mouth working this morning. Who started in radio as a teen like me, and then was an on-camera spokesman for Macy's and is now the Today Show announcer and now does the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I know exactly who you're talking about. A very memorable voice. Do you think your voice sounds like his? Musical Neptunian says, I guess Karen Commons, I subbed to her narrator's roadmap. Oh, yeah. Is it Commons or Cummins? Either way, that's a great website, the narrator's roadmap. If you're an audiobook narrator or aspire to be, definitely check out the narrator's roadmap. I think it's narratorsroadmap.com. I think we've talked about this before on a live. It's a great place for information on audiobook narration. Planning Real Alaska is here. Hello. Good morning. Even though I am a woman, I love Sebastian York. You can love whoever you want to love. Male, female, unicorn, whatever. You love who you want to love. James Park says, hi all. My audiobook role model is Frank Mueller. His version of 1984 is amazing. 1984. Why does that sound familiar? Why does 1984 sound familiar? Focus. Phil says, hi, Angela. Hi, Phil. Thanks for joining. Wonderland Steam says, I haven't found my role model yet. And that's okay too. I think as you go along and once you start down the path of becoming a voice actor or an audiobook narrator, you'll start to hear voices more clearly. You'll actively listen, I guess, to more commercials, documentaries, anything with a voice. You'll start to actively listen to them and start to pick up little tips, which is another reason why I always say, if you want to be an audiobook narrator, listen to audiobooks. Because you find so much information and you can go out, listen to them deliver character voices or the way that they make their pauses and the breaths that are still in there, right? We always think we got to get rid of all the breaths in an audiobook. You don't. I would say get rid of them, get rid of the big breaths that are, big and distracting, but natural breaths are fine. But if you listen to audiobooks, you'll start to pick up some things, right? And then implement those things into your own work. And I think it's very, very helpful. But if you don't have a role model yet, that's fine. But I think eventually you will start to go, you know what? I really like the way this person does this and this person does this. And then you'll start to listen to them more and you're like, man, if I could only do that, if I can only be like that. Or I like the way that I'm going off on a tangent now. I like the way that they got to where they are, whatever it is. I think eventually you might find someone that you want to follow and would consider a role model, I think. Sally Morrill is here. Morrill. Sorry, horrible with names. I need more coffee. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Sally. Always look forward to your show. You are one of my role models. Stop it. You are one of my role models, along with Anthony Pica, Susan Fouché, Todd Barnes, Gabby, and Booth Junkie. Yes, I know everybody there, and I follow all of them. I know who you're talking about. Those are great role models to have. Thank you. I don't consider myself with the likes of them, but that's okay. I'm glad I could help anyway. JCCAOL says, in regards to role models, well, you, for one, stop it. You guys are going to make me blush. But others would be Phil Lamar, Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, Anna Brisbane, Tara Strong, and Jennifer Hale. And that is only a fraction. There are so many. That is very true. Very true. And they are all great voice actors in their own right. But I think immediately when I think of someone who I want to be like, first one that pops into my head is Sigourney Weaver. Always has been. But those are all great role models also. Comes the frog. Gosh, every day. Robert Palmore says, scored a mic D1, MIC D1 mic off eBay. I should probably put my glasses on. Mic with all the accessories, blimp and dead cat for the blimp for less than a new mic. Haven't hooked it up yet. I'm not familiar with that one. MIC D1? Who's the manufacturer of that one? I'm not a complete mic nerd. I know a lot of mics, but I don't know all of them. So you're probably going, Angela doesn't know what mic that is. I don't. I'm still learning. I still learn every day. The Jazzy Jasmine says, good morning. Good morning, Jasmine. Doyle Sanders is here. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Doyle. Thanks for stopping by. Brittany is also here. Good morning, Brittany. Thank you for spending some time with us. Musical Neptunian, good, very early morning. What time is it there for you? Doug Mack says, good morning from Greensboro, North Carolina. Thanks for the tips. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate everybody that spends some time with us and joins in on the community. I look forward to this every week, not just to offer advice and maybe help you through something, but the community, right? We need this community. I do anyway, just to kind of catch up with some other VOs and see what's shaking. Black Swan Revelation says, hi from, is it Canada? Canads? Canada? Sorry if I butchered that. Planning Real Alaska says, hi from Alaska. Hello from Alaska. Black Swan Revelation says, I'd like to be Morgan Freeman. Oh my gosh. I'm so guilty of this. Does anyone else, every time you see a picture of Morgan Freeman, whatever the caption is, you immediately read it in his voice, or you think of the caption in your head as his voice? I can't be the only one that does that. Or James Earl Jones. Yeah. You know who also has an amazing voice is, oh my gosh, I'm totally going to butcher his name. Is it Idris Elba? Oh my gosh, he has a fantastic voice. Rustic Hillbilly is here. Good morning from Oregon. Eric. Hello, darling. Eric is here. Good morning. Good morning, Eric. Danelle Nelson says, I need to research other VO's work more. Can you recommend some rosters? I was hoping that with everybody sharing their role models and maybe some names that you'll learn some throughout the chat here or throughout this session. There's a lot of people with a lot of amazing talent out there that you might gravitate towards some of these and you might gravitate towards some of these. I think, again, once you're again in voiceover and audiobook narration, you start to really actively listen to these people. And then you find out, like, man, I love that voice and the way that they did XYZ. And then you go, who was that? And you look them up and then you start to follow them and then they become a role model. So I think throughout the course of this session, you'll probably hear some great names. We just listed off quite a few. What was that one? JCC AOL had some great ones. Just to recap with those again was Phil Lamar, Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, Anna Brisbane, Tara Strong, and Jennifer Hale. Those are some really great ones. Doug Mack is here. Good morning. Bill DeWeese. Bill DeWeese. Good one. Role voice model. Looking for others. Yeah, Bill DeWeese is a good one. Brittany Beck says, I tend to binge listen to audiobooks from the library, so I have a hard time remembering which names go with which voices. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm always scribbling stuff down. I have if you guys saw my desk, you'd go, geez. I have my agenda book and then 2 legal notepads here. And I'm just constantly writing notes, constantly writing things down. That's really the only way that I remember anything anymore. So you might need to jot some down as you go. It is. What did I ask? Very early morning. Very early. Well, what time is it? What time is it where you are? Crystal Green says, I like Jennifer Jill Araya. She just won an Audi Award in March. I like that she carries a variety of voices that sound real and relatable. That's a good person to follow. I'm not familiar with the name. However, I'll probably hear the voice and go, "Oh yeah, that's who that is." But I'll see. I'm going to write it down. See, Jennifer Jill Araya. I want to say it sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't tell you for sure that it does. I'll have to check that out. Sean Lester 007 says, I do cruise samples of the top Audible narrators just to nurture a sense of envy. Yeah. If you don't want to sign up for Audible, um, there are a lot of free audiobooks on YouTube, right? I find, or I'm hearing, and I'm discovering, I'm seeing authors are starting to now also branch out to YouTube. And what they'll do is they'll have like a membership or like a, you know, how on YouTube you can have like a membership or like a subscription, sort of. So if you subscribe to their channel, then you can listen to their books. They upload them by chapter, almost like an audiobook, right? So as long as you're subscribing to their channel, you can listen to their audiobooks there. Or if you want to just cruise the samples, on Audible, there are, there's a what we call a retail sample, but it's a 1 to 5 minute snippet of the book that you're looking at on Audible, and you can listen to the narrators narrate. So you can find some great voices that way too. Mang Vang VO, I love that, says mine is Bill as well, but I'm terrible at names. Bill Deweese, perhaps. I recognize people more by their voices. Yeah. Robert Allaire says James Earl Jones. Yeah, forever. Yeah. Killin Weber says 1984 is a George Orwell novel. Oh, I knew it sounded familiar. Oh, yeah. Eric says the same. 1984. Thank you, guys. I tend to draw a lot of blanks when the camera is on because I'm like on, You know what? With that, let's jump back over to the poll really quick. Okay, so again, buttons, buttons, who's got the button? So today's poll again was, do you have a VO or an audiobook role model? And if you do, put it in the chat. So then that way people in chat can find a new name and check them out, and perhaps they will like them too. So let's hop on over to the poll. So we have 32 votes, and it looks like 31% of you said, yes, I do have a role model, and 69% of you said no. Interesting. I thought for sure that more of you would have, have somebody in mind that you really, really like and follow and perhaps want to emulate for whatever reason. I'm actually surprised by that. Interesting. And I lost my place. Oh, here we are. Randy Kilburn says, hello, Angela. I am brand new and think so far you are my role model. Stop. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Due to you are so helpful and kind and so knowledgeable. Thanks for all you do. Well, thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. You're making my introvert scream. I do this because I feel it necessary. I'm one of those people who likes to, I believe in karma and paying things forward. And if I am where I am now because of people that I have followed in my beginning of my journey, I want to do the same for you because it was difficult. It was hard. Not every question or problem I had was easily found. I mean, granted, there's a lot of information on YouTube. There's tons of information on YouTube. But finding something specific or finding just general tips and tricks for a specific niche of a specific industry was hard. Or not being like, kind of kicked to the curb because I didn't know, right? I wanted I wanted to be somebody that would just offer information and support freely because it's important, I think, for not only our own mental states, but in helping to grow and to share information. And again, I'm going off on another tangent. So, but thank you, Randy, for saying that. I appreciate that. Try not to blush. James Park says Neil Glasgow from Crownstag VoiceOver, Mike Delgadio from Booth Junkie, and of course, Angela. Stop. I love Mike Delgadio. And Neil, I'm trying to picture his face. I'm gonna have to watch more of that channel of Crown Stag voiceover. But Mike Delgadio is pretty awesome. He has a really great channel, Booth Junkie. If you're not familiar with it, it's here on YouTube. Check it out. Musical Neptunian says Tom Selleck is the most underrated narrator. He did brilliant narrations in Magnum PI. Yes, I am that old. Apart from Magnum PI, what else has he narrated? I couldn't. Well, wait a minute. Didn't he do like a documentary or something? I want to say I have heard him on something that wasn't a TV show. You know, running through the halls of my 46-year-old brain, I don't know if I can remember everything, but I want to say that he did. Did he? Wonderland Steam says, I love a lot of different artists, but to pick just one is too much. Yeah. And you don't have to pick just one. You can have several if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. You can like them for different reasons, right? Planning Real Alaska says, what was the name of that website? Narrator. Oh, the narrator's roadmap. Actually, can I check that really quick just to be sure? Ooh, Google's got an interesting page today. Narrator's roadmap. That's exactly it. So www.narratorsroadmap.com. That's what it is. James Park says, Keith Sarabakia? Oh my gosh. Why are you throwing these names at me? Stop it. It's too early. He's a great narrator. He sounds like Mark Hamill. The name is familiar. I couldn't tell you if I pronounced that right. But what is Keith narrated that we would know? Even if we don't know, what is he narrated so we can go find it? Musical Neptunian is answering adding Planning Real Alaska narrator's roadmap. Incredible amount of stuff there. There's a lot of great stuff there on that roadmap on that website if you're looking to be an audiobook narrator. James Park says, I have Scott Brick's reading of Helter Skelter and it's fantastic. You know, I just listened to Jurassic Park and Jurassic World that were both narrated by Scott Brick. Good stuff. John Popovich says, good morning, Angela. The actor Liev Schreiber is my role model for VO. Of course, you are one of mine with all of your help. Stop it. Sports is my fave. So Vin Scully, Keith Jackson, Dan Patrick, John Miller. Sports announcers? Is that what you're referring to? Oh, Louie, did you just send me a super chat? You did. Hold on. Thank you, Louie. Angela in the house. What software would you recommend transcribing audio files into other languages? Ooh, you know what? I've actually looked into this because I had a client ask me if I could do this. If anybody here knows the answer to this question, please put it in the chat because I am not remembering what it was. For some reason, I keep thinking of Premiere Pro's ability to caption, but that's not transcribing in multiple languages, although you might be able to select the language. But I know there's also software. I want to say it's like Dragon Speech. There is software out there. I just cannot for the life of me think of the name of it, where you can transcribe audio, but the ability to have it transcribed in any or multiple languages, I don't know. I'll have to look that up for you, Louie, because that was so long ago and it's not something that I offer, but I did have somebody ask me that once and I looked into it, but I can't for the life of me think of the answer. So for that, I apologize. But if anybody here knows the answer to that question, please put it in the chat so you can help out a fellow VO. Thank you for the super chat, Louis. Robert Allaire says, time to drink some fire cider. You know what? I haven't had any today, and it's right here on my desk. And if anybody doesn't know what it is, it's apple cider vinegar with habanero and honey, oranges, lemons, onions, ginger, horseradish, garlic, turmeric, habanero pepper, black pepper. Yeah. Let's do some really quick. Give it a good shake. That way you guys can see the silly faces I make. I don't do a whole shot glass. I find just a little halfer does me fine. Whew, I can smell it. All right. Cheers. Got a little bit on my nose. That'll help. Making my eyes water. Musical Neptunian says 2 a.m. in Australia. Wow, no kidding. It is very early for you, isn't it? Making my mouth water. Tiffany's 80s Dream says, I'm so late to this call. I just say hi and ask questions next time. Well, thank you for stopping by anyway. So I appreciate that. It's the thought and it's the effort that matters. Robert Palmore says Cinco. Okay, so it's the Cinco mic. Booth Junkie put it up against a Sennheiser 416 and was switching back and forth and couldn't tell the difference. Is it the D1 or the D2? I'm pretty sure there is one, the Cinco D2. I want to say it's the D2. It's on my website. I have a bunch of recommended gear on my website, voiceoverangela.com. And I want to say it's the Cinco D2, but it might be the D1. I'm going to have to look. But there is one that Cinco makes that it's a fraction of the cost of the Sennheiser 416, which is what this is. And it's very, very similar. I also, speaking of mics, if you haven't seen it, I did a review of my Sennheiser 416 versus the Lewitt 440, which is a mic that is under $300 that sounds fabulous compared to the Sennheiser, which is, $1,000. So if you're looking for a good mic or any equipment, really, I have some great recommendations on my website, voiceoverangela.com, on the tab called VO Gear. But I believe the one he's referring to, the Cinco mic, is on there too. Wonderland Steam says, yes. Christine Hauser says, hello, North Carolina here. I have a starter mic on the way from Amazon and cannot wait to create a demo. Scared to death. Yes, we all have been there. And you'll also get to the point in the very beginning, and probably will raise its head multiple times throughout the years going forward, that imposter syndrome, right? You'll hear yourself and you'll just cringe. And you'll say, why in the heck would anybody pay to hear that? But they do. Again, as I always say, you guys are probably tired of hearing me say this, but voice actors represent the world. We represent every nationality, every creed, every age, every gender, everything. So there is a need for all voices. So don't be scared. Punch fear in the face and just do it. James Park says 1984 is George Orwell's famous dystopian novel. Yeah, I remember seeing the book. I've never read it. Perhaps I should. I'll add it to my to be read, my TBR. Tiffany's 80s Dream says, I will ask a quick question. Does any of your programs offer accountability partners? I feel like I'd get more done if I had one. On my Facebook group, the VO Workshop, I do have a peer mentorship program that's available there where group members will sign up as either mentees or mentors. So if you're on my Facebook group, I highly encourage you to sign up as a mentor. If you, I think it's a very noble thing for you to do. If you have some experience and some knowledge and you're willing to share with someone just coming up, sign up as a mentor. And if you're also in my group and you want to be mentored or have an accountability partner, then you can search the list of mentors on my Facebook group and choose one. And we'll reach out to them first and see if they're interested in being an accountability partner. But I think that's a great idea, Tiffany. I think that's a great idea. Also, what you could do if you wanted to meet weekly with a group of people to keep you accountable, I have my platinum membership on my website. Dang it. Never ends. We meet every week on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we read through scripts. We catch up with each other. We congratulate each other. We vent to each other. It's very casual. Everybody brings a drink. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs. We get derailed a lot, but we do learn a lot from each other. I've learned a lot from them, and I think vice versa and from each other. So it's been a great experience for me. But there's that too, if you're looking for a group of very cool people to keep you accountable on things. Musical Neptunian says 2 a.m. in Oz. Hello? In Oz? In Oz? Crystal Green says Jennifer Jill Araya, good God, read the Culling series by Trisha Wentworth. She is the reason I am starting my own Audible career and have the confidence to start. That's amazing. The Culling. I have heard of that series. I haven't read them. I haven't heard them either. I'm sure they're in audiobook form. Yeah, I would imagine. Robert asks, how do you draw a blank? Very carefully, Robert. Is drawing a blank like the sound of silence? Yes, it is. Sean Lester 007 says, when asked about that God-given voice of his, Morgan denied it was natural. I was born and raised in Mississippi. I worked hard to sound like this. Interesting. So he says that he created that voice? That it's not his natural born voice? Interesting. Sally Morrill says, let us not forget an oldie but goldie, Orson Welles' original War of the Worlds and documentaries. Yes, absolutely. That's a good one. JCCAOL says, other actors, two have done voiceover, Jonathan Banks, Vincent Price, and Alan Rickman. I would have loved to have heard Alan Rickman read Shakespeare. Oh, yeah. Or The Raven. Vincent Price reading Vincent. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yes. That would have been amazing. Planning Real Alaska says, anyone ever say you look a little like Mariah Carey? No. That's a first. I've been told throughout my years that I looked at one point like Christina Applegate, but that was like in my teens. Another time, someone said I looked like I'm going to say this wrong, Mira Sorvino at one point, but never Mariah Carey. That's a first. JCCAOL says, in case you're wondering, Vincent is a short film by Tim Burton. Vincent Price did the narration. It's on YouTube if you're interested. I think I've seen a bit of it because I love Vincent Price and I love Tim Burton. I think I've seen a piece of it. I think it's stop animation, isn't it? Much like Frankenweenie and Nightmare Before Christmas. Correct me if I'm wrong. Janelle G says, hi, Angela. Couldn't pick just one, but I love Bonnie Turpin and Lorelei King. They're awesome. Yeah, Lorelei King was a co-writer in, not a co-writer. She has the book we talked about, I think, last live or the one right before the, oh God, Eric, if you're still here, what was the name of that book we were talking about? The how to be a narrator, how to be an audiobook narrator, or how to be... Lorelei King wrote a book about audiobook narration. I can't think of the title. I always forget what it is. But I've heard that it's a very good read or listen, because I believe it's an audiobook form too. James Park says Frank Mueller's reading of 1984 is on YouTube for free. I highly recommend you check it out. I'm definitely going to check these out, these recommendations. Add them to my lists of things to do. Kirk says old. I mean old. Darn fat thumbs, old school. Mel Blanc, Orson Welles, modern Jim Dale, and George Clooney. George Clooney, really? Oh, interesting. How you doing, Kirk? Thanks for joining. Musical Neptunian to Kirk says, if you want to go real old school, there are collections of 1950s radio plays that are awesome. JCC AOL says, I am currently listening to 1984 on Audible. The narrator is Simon Preble. Very fine work. I would also recommend Frankenstein on Audible, read by Dan Stevens of Downton Abbey. Frankenstein. Writing it down. I love all these recommendations. Snort. No, Robert. No, thank you. Eric says shots. You can Kirk says, indeed. I always, every time I see Kirk say indeed, I always say it in his voice, and I could never do it because Kirk has an amazing voice. It's just like Morgan Freeman in that respect. Love you, Kirk. Diane Jarecki says, hi, everyone. I'm late today, but I made it. Booth Junkie did the D2 recently. The D2 against the 416, I believe. I watched that one. I was like, man, you can't really. Yeah, that's what he compared to the 416. Yeah, you can't really tell the difference. They sound very, very similar. And you're right, it was the D2. Yeah, it was a fraction of the cost, too. Eric, hi, Kirk. Morning, darling. You guys rock. Diane Jarecki says, to answer the poll question, I don't have a particular role model, but you're one of the people I consider a very good one, and I listen to your advice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying my hardest to not blush. Thank you. I'm just glad that you guys are here and we're all hanging out and sharing information and helping each other out, right? KJ says, good morning. On Fiverr, what makes a recording considered broadcast quality? That's a great question. I think it all depends on what the client is looking for, because most of my files I send as 4800 and 32 bits. So 48, it's not 4800, it's 48,000 sample rate, 32 bits, wave. That's how I send all my files unless the client wants something different, or like if it's like a phone recording that needs to be in ULAW or something like that, or if it's a podcast that they prefer an MP3. But I think that's also a term that's used quite a bit to describe or to grab the attention of potential clickers, people who click on your gig. Broadcast quality, I think, could really be a number of different things, but I think it all comes down to what kind of equipment that you're using. If it is clean audio, meaning there's no background noise, it sounds great, right? And it can be used for broadcast type projects. But ultimately, it always comes down to what it is the client needs. But if you can produce audio that is broadcast quality, that is clean, a high sample and bit rate, so it's the utmost uncompressed quality as a WAV file, I think that would fall into that realm. I'm trying to not be vague, but it really does depend on what they consider to be broadcast quality, I think. I hope that answers your question. Daryl Hansen says, how did you get started in a nutshell? I always think of Austin Powers when I hear that, in a nutshell. I'm in a nutshell. Do you have a most important item that should be done to get started? Practice and training, I think, are very, very important. They're more important than the actual equipment that you have. Your recording space is going to be also huge in getting your audio quality to be its best. But training yourself or getting training, coaching, learning how to use your DAW and how to use effects and things of that nature. All of that is, there's so much to learn getting into this. And I think getting someone to help you learn these things in performance and how to use your DAW and how to get a broadcast quality audio file are going to be huge for you in the very beginning to get you started in the right way. I think. Louie, did you just send me another super chat? You did, didn't you? Thank you, Louie. When we order your Fiverr setup course, do you give us advice on what you could charge as a novice? Could you tell us a bit about that course? My Fiverr Basics course is really, truly just a basics course. It runs you through that. This is ideal. That particular course is ideal for someone who does not have a Fiverr presence at all. You don't have a profile, you don't have gigs set up, you don't have anything set up at all. I basically walk you through how to determine or how to set up your profile. I walk you through all those steps, how to set up your gig. I do recommend, if you're looking for pricing specifically, you can take a look at, and I think I do mention this in the course, but I've also mentioned this in multiple videos here on YouTube, is to look at other sellers on Fiverr in the same uh, level that you're in. So if you're just starting out on Fiverr as a brand new seller, look at the other new sellers and see what their pricing structure is, because you want to be comparable, right? Or if you want to be completely way higher than everybody else, that might get attention too, because they might click on you and go, why are they charging so much more than everybody else? Then they hear your demo and they go, oh, well, that's why, right? Because they sound like Morgan Freeman or whatever it is. So the course, to answer your question, is for starting at zero, basically, in regards to Fiverr. So if you already have a Fiverr presence, then that course is probably not going to be your best bet. Your best bet is probably to connect with me directly, perhaps, or join the group, join my Facebook group, and just ask questions about other things regarding Fiverr and pricing, or search Fiverr here on my YouTube channel. I know I have several videos about Fiverr pricing and setting up your gigs and things of that nature to sort of complement that course. Thank you for the super chat, Louie. Now I have to find where I left off. Gosh. Here we go. JCCAOL says 1984 is very depressing, but an essential read. You will need to read it every few years. You always pick up something new. Wow. Interest is very piqued. I'm going to have to check it out. James Park says Keith narrated a lot of true crime novels, Mafia Summit, Why We Love Serial Killers, etc. His last name is pronounced Sarabike. Sarabika? Sarabika. Sarabika. Thank you for that. Daryl Hansen says, I have been doing puppets. I'm using my voice for their characters. Is there a way that you could do this professionally? What would you suggest? I think that's a great question. And my son, it likes to do, has puppets as well. And he practices with the ventriloq. God, I can't say that. I can't say the word. My mouth is not working. Ventriloquism. I think you could do something with puppets if you. Honestly, I always think of social media. I always think of having a channel like a Twitch live stream or a YouTube channel where you're doing skits or shows or comedy sketches or even Q&As. If you can think of something clever that people would tune in for, but you're doing it as a puppet, even on TikTok. I even see lots of puppets on TikTok. Not lots, but I've seen a couple of different channels come up on my FYP of even, they're doing, like, syncing, like, dubbing not dubbing, like, lip syncing sort of with puppets, if there is such a thing, and it's very, very clever. If you can think of something clever, like a shtick, something that is you, that people can come back for, but with puppets, I think that would be probably your best bet. And if you're using your own voice for the puppets, I think that would help to get you and your acting ability, your voice ability to be heard by more people. I think right away social media for that. Sing Mariah's Sweet Fantasy, please. No, you do not want that. Trust me. James Park says Stephen Fry is an amazing narrator. Christopher Lee reading Edgar Allan Poe's on YouTube. Interesting. Vincent is stop animation. Awesome. Yeah, I thought so. I've seen a piece of it. I've seen pieces of it. Eric says, I can't recall the title. I can never remember the title to that book, but if you look up Lorelei King on Amazon, you'll see her book, I'm sure. Eric says, a voice I think is fascinating is Billy Crudup. He has a diction that my ear finds intriguing, can't explain. I can't think of his voice off the top of my head. I'm going to have to go and find him so I can see what you're talking about. I wish Adam West were still around. He could narrate Batman number 14. There are only 5 copies in existence. 4, actually. You're the best, Brandon. JCCAOL says Christopher Lee was mentioned, and he is incredible. I also like The Raven read by James Earl Jones and another version by Christopher Walken. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine that. I haven't heard any of those. Thanks for correcting me on Downton Abbey. I don't think I corrected you. I think you had it right. I said it wrong initially. I said downtown. It's Downton. You had it right. It was me that said it wrong. Danelle Nelson said, if you watch his old electric company appearances, he definitely cultivated his voice over the years. For who are we talking about? Morgan Freeman? I remember the electric company. I remember watching that as a kid. He wasn't on that, was he? Who are we talking about? Hold on. I totally forgot about the electric company. Oh my gosh. I'm sure there's some episodes on YouTube. I bet you anything there are. Yeah, and then she says, yeah, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check and see if they're on YouTube. I'm sure they are. Meng Vang VO says, I'm getting job offers where the scripts are sketchy ads. Doctors hate this one trick. Get free online currency on this website, etc. The jobs will build my Fiverr, but what do you think, Angela? I say that being a voice actor, you might end up taking some jobs that are maybe not what you want to do, but you have to remember that even if they go against what you believe to be true, you're only fulfilling a service, right? The client is hiring you to do a job, and you're narrating that job, basically. If there's sketchy ads, there's still a voice actor that needs to do that sketchy ad or to record that sketchy ad. It's not you saying this, it's your client saying this. You're just giving it a voice. But if you are so opposed, or if it's something offensive to you, or some of the words in the script are what you absolutely don't want to say, then don't do the job. But if it's something that you can stomach doing to fulfill the job for the client, and perhaps even have a repeat client, I would say suck it up and do it. If the price is right and you can get through it, then just do it. Because like you said, it would bolster your Fiverr presence, right? Every order that you get and complete and get a review for is going to do nothing but help you, and also, put money in your pocket. But again, if it's something that you just will absolutely, nope, you will absolutely not say these words, then decline the job. But we've all been in that position where I've been there. Some political ads that I didn't agree with, but I did them anyway because that was a job. That's right, Morgan Freeman. And then Planning Real Alaska says, I am new. And okay, so we need to get this person out of here. We do have a mod. Planning Real Alaska says, I am new and I have never taken acting. I think I need help. What do you recommend? I'm a full-time working mom, but I really want to do audiobooks. Do you do narrator coaching? I do have one-on-one sessions that I offer on my website. And I also have what I call mentorship programs, but I basically meet with you every week for either 4 weeks or 12 weeks. And we work on whatever it is that you need to work on. If you need help filling out your profiles, if you need help perfecting your audiobook voices or setting up the technical aspects of audiobooks, whatever it is, I can help you through with some of that stuff for sure. JCC AOL says 3 other voice artists were Nancy Cartwright, Yeardley Smith, and finally Arlene Sorkin, the first ever Harley Quinn. Absolutely. Oh, Tim Curry. Love Tim Curry. Tim Curry's read of The Journey of the Center of the Earth is outstanding. Oh my gosh. JCC AOL says Morgan Freeman was easy reader on Electric Company, as well as other roles. That is amazing. What is wrong with these people? Gosh. All right. So all right. I think we need to Sorry guys, we're having some craziness over here in the what is going on? What is going on with all of these bots? Jeez. Can't we just have like good God. All right, if you can help me out with if you guys can help me out with this would be great. Reported these people. What is going on? All right, guys. Well, we might have to cut it short if I can't get these people out of here. Sorry, guys. They're just on it. Good Lord. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I added some stricter filters, but this is just insane. I totally forgot that Morgan Freeman was on the Electric Company. Good God. Sorry, guys. Sorry about the bots. I'm trying to get rid of them. Yeah, bot aisle cleanup. Okay, Ralph says so many to name, but going back to my childhood, excuse me, I would name Mel Blanc and Paul Frees. I love Mel Blanc. I only have one demo right now. It's an animated version. Is it still good to put out on Fiverr because it has me reading commercials as well? Yes, if you have any kind of demo to use to showcase your voice, that's good to start out with. You can always add or refresh going forward. If you have a demo that sounds good, I would definitely use it for sure. Meng Vang Vio sent me a super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Angela, for the wise words. I appreciate you. Thank you. I just appreciate everybody here for hanging out and joining the community. I appreciate you, all of you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to Oh my gosh, you guys. All right, we're getting jammed here with all of this silly stuff. I'm blocking users. I can't just ignore them because it's insane, people. Okay. Nate says, "Hi Angela, did they change isotope nectar to elements 9?" I don't think so. Isotope is they have a sale on all of their isotope products, RX9, because RX10 will be coming out shortly. And I believe if you buy the RX9 from Isotope, then you get a free upgrade to RX10. I would definitely go check it out at isotope.com. That's izotope.com, and check out their plugins. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry. Just kind of scrolling through here, trying to get rid of moderators. I'm reporting as fast as I can. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Get these people out of here. I don't. VoiceOver Van Deen says, "Afternoon, sitting by a river drinking beer. May the frog stay with me." The frog has been hanging out with me this morning, but that's okay. But I'm glad that you're sitting by the river drinking a beer. I am hanging out with all of you guys getting spam botted. What you're doing sounds wonderful. I'm reporting too. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for reporting. Nate says, "Did you question?" Yes, I saw. I'm sorry. I was distracted by the nonsense. I appreciate all of you guys for hanging around. Ignore these fools. They make it hard. Oh my gosh. What is going on? Why are you people even doing this? Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. This is really irritating. All right. Kirk says, "While we're battling bots, don't forget to like this video." Thanks, guys. I'm reporting too, but they're coming faster than I can type. I know. It's insane. Rustic Hillbilly, ignore them. I know. I would love to, but I have to get them out of here. It gets inappropriate. James Park, if you're looking for a great documentary about VO, check out I Know That Voice. I did see that. There is that the one that's on Amazon? The Amazon Prime? There's a delay, but I'm trying my best. Thank you, Louie. Rustic Hillbilly says everyone can block them. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate the help. Christine Hauser says, "I'm so glad to know you go live. I will continue to follow and learn from you. You're amazing." You're amazing, Christine. You're amazing. I appreciate you guys. Nate Rick says, "Okay, we'll check it out." Yeah, the Isotope. Yeah, they're all on sale. Brittany Beck says, "Stinks they've started using the username as spam too." Yeah. What is going on here? I'm trying to block them as fast as I see them. Sorry, guys. Bought it on YouTube. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put getting error messages. It's happening so fast. Okay. I mean, I have narrators I love listening to. Well, who are the narrators you love listening to? Share with the class. All right, guys. We might have to cut it. Because I can't deal with these guys. It's just insane. I can't get rid of them fast enough. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to call this because I can't. Yeah, I can't get rid of these people fast enough. James says, "No, it's not on Prime. I bought it on YouTube." Report and block them. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Makes it hard to find actual questions. Smite Knight says, "So my first audiobook came out recently, and I've discovered I don't like how reviews are done on ACX. They don't seem to differentiate performance and story." No, they don't. It's going to be the audiobook as a whole, the prose and your narration. all get lumped into one review. He comes to Vegas a lot. Guys, I'm sorry. I am losing everybody here. It's a hacker. Jeez. Ignore them, Angela. I'm reporting the losers. I appreciate you guys. I really do. This is just, it makes it hard to, it actually, sorry, guys. Brittany says maybe turn on subscribers only mode. I think it is only on subscribers only mode. JS Sheriff says, what is your thoughts on Evo 4 full kit with mic and headphone set? I wouldn't do I'm thinking mic, when you say mic and headphone set, it's like a mic on a headphone set. I wouldn't do one of those. I would actually do a separate microphone and separate headphones for sure. You'll get a better quality that way. Louis says, don't give in to them. I'm trying to not. This is so disheartening though, because I'm losing comments. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing my place. Okay, Smite Knight, you can get a few quick commands to deal with the situation with bots. How do I do that? Share with me your wisdom. Randy Kilburn says, thanks, Angela. So sorry for this. I know, I'm sorry. This is happening, guys. Kirk says, the attack of the a-holes. What is wrong with folks? I know. Much love and light to you. Thank you. This is really disheartening, but I appreciate you guys hanging out and helping me with this. I really do. And I'm so sorry if I missed your question. It's tough to keep track. Gary Micheloni says, let's go to an option list in order to subscribe. You approve them, but you'll be able to stop them because they won't be visible. An opt-in list in order to subscribe. Interesting. I didn't know that you could do that. Blocking more users. Christine says, I love how we all work together to report. Thank you, everyone. Fight the good fight. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I'm trying my hardest to get rid of these people as they come in and also try to answer your questions. James Park says, maybe we all need to meet up and have these sessions in real life. That would be nice. That would definitely be nice. Evo 4 is a separate mic and headphones. Oh, okay. So it's like a bundle where you can have a separate mic and then separate headphones. I don't know of Evo 4, although Nate says go with an Evo 8 for more room for headphones. Okay. My only real way to keep these people out is to do like a membership type thing for my channel, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that this is free to find, unless we just do the live chat on membership mode. I don't want to do that, but if it keeps these people out, I do appreciate everybody pitching in and reporting and helping my one moderator and me. We're both fighting this together. Gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. Smite Knight says, I come from Twitch. These hate raids are unfortunately common. I'd recommend a Stream Deck, which allows you to easily program some chain commands to do a sub-only mode, slow chat, time limit sub to chat. I actually have all of those enabled, believe it or not. You have to be a member to, not a member. You have to subscribe to even chat. And then I have slow chat on. And I think there's also a time limit in the chat as well. I don't know, but if there's any other way that we can do this, there's no cost to you that's going to, sorry guys. Robert Palmore says bundle for the Evo 8. I am unfamiliar with that brand, Evo 4 and Evo 8. I'm gonna have to look into those. I'm unfamiliar with those. You guys rock. You guys rock. Thank for help. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for helping out with that. I'm so sorry that happened. And then I've just been so distracted. Zoom would be good. Yeah, Zoom would be good. Louis says, thanks for the super chats, Meg. Yeah, Thank you, everyone. Louie, also you, for the super chats. JCC AOL says, if we can meet on Zoom, I would be open to that. I'm seeing a lot of Zooms. Zoom, 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 zoom. Smite Knight says, Michael Kramer is my role model for VO. Just love his range. I can't think of that. Who is that, Michael Kramer? Michael Kramer. That sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you for sure I know the name. I'll have to look that up too. I'm seeing Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Evo is by Volt. Oh, Volt. Volt. Okay. I think I've heard of that one. Now I'm like paranoid. I'm like watching for all the new comments that come in. Gosh, Evo. I had a lot of fun, Angela. Oh my gosh. Christine says, I like Zoom. Nate Ricks, Evo 8 by Audient. Oh, by Audient. Oh, okay. Michael Neptunian, our musical Neptunian. Louie, thank you. Yeah, thank you, everybody who helped out with that. I really appreciate you. Christine says, you can record on Zoom, then post the replay to YouTube. That's a good point. That's a good point. But I'd have to find a way to, there would have to be some way to gatekeep and to organize and to make it easy for specific people to find. So that part I'm going to have to figure out. Robert said I could enable my mic. No, I'm going to keep you muted, Robert. You will stay perma-muted. Smite Knight says he did the Stormlight archive stuff by Brandon Sanderson. Nate says no Audient. For the Evos, Gary Micheloni says separate the term role model from an actor whose voice you admire. There are many actors with great voices, but who would be terrible role models? That is a good point. That is a good point. That's true. Yeah, role model probably wasn't the best description of what I was asking. So you're right. Who do you admire? Probably would have been a better way to go. Louis says, musical, I bow to you. Smite Knight says, if you're looking to do live streams without the bot raid junk, I'd say your own website is the best way to go. That's how I started, actually. That's how I started on my website. And I had issues there too. Not with bots, but with the way that it was laid out on the website. I found that embedding from YouTube on my website was a better way to go. I didn't have to have a bunch of storage on my website because it would live stream directly into the website. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out so we can keep meeting and communicating with each other without this sort of thing. John says, I reported them and the messages were deleted right after I submitted. Do you guys still see them? If it worked, I'd be okay to do that in the future so you can keep going. I would totally, John, if you want to be a moderator, I would definitely let you. You've been here since the beginning too. Christine Hauser said subscription newsletter invites. Oh, newsletter. That would be a good one. That's good advice too. Robert said no. Yes, Robert, you would be on perma mute. Nate Rick says post show on YouTube, then do Zoom. Oh, okay. Yeah. Michael V says, sorry, I was wrong. It was not by Volt. It is Audient. Okay. Evo 4 and Evo 8. Okay. Nate says, yep, Mike V. Gary says, John P. looks clean now to me. Yes, thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody who pitched in. Ralph says, Audient makes Evo 4 and Evo 14. Have not heard about Evo 8. Oh, I think I know what you guys are talking about now. I was distracted. I apologize. Brandon said, I'd like to moderate, but I can barely moderate myself. That is very true. That is very true, Brandon. I know that about you. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Hang on, guys. I'm adding a couple of moderators. so you guys can help out. I appreciate everybody helping out, but I think I am going to say that's good for today. That was the end of my comments and stuff. Again, thank you everyone for spending some time with me here today. I apologize for the troll raid. It really stinks. But I appreciate everybody being here and everybody pitching in to help. I appreciate everybody's questions and contributions to the chat and to each other. I will see everybody next week, and I hope that this doesn't happen again, but you never know. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm a little disheartened, but it is what it is. But I'll see everybody next week. Bye.